to learn how to run a crystal live sale all by yourself? Does the thought of doing it kind of overwhelm you, or do you get anxiety at the thought of running a crystal live or any type of live sale? Now, we initially did post another video, so this is an update based on some questions that we have received, a little bit more of a detailed behind the scenes. And so I hope this helps you get a little bit more clarity. Make sure you like and subscribe. That really helps our channel grow and helps me be able to provide more free content like this for all of you. All right, let's get into the video. Now, first, my setup. I want to cover that for you. So my phone that's recording right now is in a ring light. That ring light is usually right on the right-hand corner of my table. I have an oblonged table here. My other ring light is right where it's placed in front of me, and both of these ring lights use a white light. A white light is going to be best when you are showing crystals. It really shows them the best. You'll also notice behind on my setup here, I have a lace curtain that I have pinned up here. I didn't always have the lace curtain because my background is this hideous terracotta color that I just don't like. No hate if you like terracotta. I'm in the process of painting this room, but it's a task to do so with all the crystals in here. So I put this up in the meantime. I kid you not, the first live that I had this lace curtain up, my customers were like, oh my gosh, everything is so much brighter. It's so easier to see everything because the white was reflecting the white light. So if you don't have a white wall or a light colored wall, I do recommend even something as simple as this curtain. I bought it on Amazon as a deal for $4. Totally worth it. So I do use a 2 ring light setup. I'm a smaller, more boutique shop. I only do 2 sales a month because this is one of my 2 businesses. I could, of course, add on more sales and perhaps increase my customer base, but this is what works for us because I also own a consulting firm. Now, during the live sale, of course, I'm going to promote my live sale. I do try to do what's called post boosting on Instagram about a week before I have a live sale. Depending on where I am with the business, I'll spend anywhere from $50 to $100 boosting a post. I don't get these posts out every sale, but I try to get them out as many as I can, as much as I can get together. And when I do boost a sale, a post about a sale on Instagram, I usually do get new followers that way. Now, a lot of the shops that are larger that have gained followers quickly, I've talked to many people. I know people in the crystal community. A lot of them did so using ads. You don't need to, but a lot did. So you can definitely pay that money to grow your channel. On average, I hear from some of the larger shops, they could spend anywhere from $100 to $200 a week in advertisements on Instagram to grow their shop. Some businesses will also recommend that you do at least $100 a week if you're going to do a weekly live sale. So you do that how you want to do it. But yeah, there is definitely some benefits to boosting your post, which is a paid advertisement on Instagram. And I'll do another video on that. I don't want to get into it. But let me show you. This is my setup. So I am sitting on a backless chair. It's just a stool, but it's a larger stool. And that's what I sit on. And then I sit right behind the ring light here. My phone is normally here, but it's recording this video right now. And then I have it set up in this ring light to hold it over. Sometimes I'll use my little tripod if I have, depending on what I'm showing. But usually it's just ring light, pretty much. Now I have crystals here on the table, so what I will do during the sale at the beginning, I like to go over my rules. It's really important to go over what are your policies and rules at the start of the sale, in the middle of the sale, and I would recommend at least 15 to 20 minutes before you're going to wrap up. Things that I recommend you do. I don't recommend you allow putbacks or swaps, meaning if a customer's claimed this palm and then they say, oh, can I get the other one? Can I swap it? Swaps are a slippery slope when you are running a sale by yourself because if one customer does it, a lot of times another one does it and then another one. And it can get confusing because you're pulling stuff from the baskets, you're putting them on the table, you're pulling it back. So me personally, I do not allow swaps during my live sales. I have found that when I'm really good about being clear in my policies, I don't get as many people ghosting me. So at the start of the sale, I will tell people, how do you claim a crystal? How do we ship the crystals? That we do not allow putbacks, no exceptions. If you claim it, claim responsibly. I will also say that if you claim and ghost us, meaning that you claim and you don't follow our process of sending us a DM on Instagram or just going to our website and paying for your purchase, and then we will usually message you. If you don't respond, you ignore us or you block us, we block you. But I also have a relationship with several other crystal businesses that you will also get blocked from. So I like to mention that. It does help me. That's why it's really also important to build your own little mini crystal community of other crystal businesses so that you can share those people, because nobody wants to deal with someone who claims and doesn't pay. It's a pain. And it's unfortunate because there may have been people watching that wanted those crystals that didn't get them, and then these people didn't even pay. So it's frustrating. That is a reality, but I find being clear in your rules really helps. Now, during the live, kind of the physical logistics, as I'm sitting back here, I'm holding the crystal. I will show the front of the crystal, and then I show the back with my coding on it. So I use a letter number coding. So this is B15 Septarian. And so what I will say, it's a Septarian palm, and the number is B15. The first customer to type B15 correctly, they got to type it correctly, does get the crystal. Next, what I do, if they don't have a box already, like if they don't have their name on a box, I have my little handy Post-its, and I will write down their Instagram name. And then right here on my right-hand side, I have, as I dropped half, little baskets. These I got from IKEA. I want to say, yeah, these are IKEA. They're the Samla, S-A-M-L-A baskets. Here, I'll show you guys. I'll try to link them below, but they're the IKEA S-A-M-L-A, and their ID number is, I'll put it on here, but you guys can see what ID number it is. So you can go find it at your local IKEA. Take the Post-it, and then these have a little ledge here. So I put the Post-it on right on that ledge so that I can see it if it's sitting this way, right? I'm gonna set it behind me, and I'm gonna make a nice little row of these. Now, if you're extra, like I try to do sometimes, as customers claim, I try to move the boxes around so they're alphabetical. That's not always possible. It depends on how busy your night is. If not, I just want to have them behind me so that I can see them as they claim more crystals. I'm going to put their crystal in their box, right? Crystal in box. It sits behind me. We go back and we pick up our next crystal, show it, repeat the process again throughout the live. As the customer continues to claim, they get put in the basket behind me. Now, physically, if you have back issues, this might be uncomfortable for you. I am okay. It does not bother me. I'm used to this position. I'm used to doing live sales. Usually, now my legs are crossed right now, but usually I have my legs flat on the floor on either side of this. So when I'm turning back, I try to turn right and then I try to turn left. So make sure that I'm not hurting my back. But again, this might not be possible for all of you. If you have back issues, you might be able to put a table like right here and have the boxes on a table there, so you're not having to bend down and reach behind you. But that's how I do it. Some other helpful tools, if you are showing crystals that are, for example, I have Mojano calcite here, that are UV reactive, having a UV light is a really helpful tool to show customers how it looks. Also, a really nice flashlight to light up any crystals or to light up crystals with rutile. Just a nice little flashlight helps. We sell these in our shop, but these are sphere stands, and the light on them is, of course, this one's not plugged in. The light on them is really amazing. So I honestly will hold this like this if I'm showing a crystal, and it honestly works better than almost any flashlight I've used. And they're just these little LED lights, but they're amazing. So those are some really good, helpful tools to have handy. Some other helpful tools to have are a clear ruler. I like clear rulers because, let me grab this obelisk. When you're showing it on the live, it shows really where, and this is gonna be harder to see now. In a live, I can zoom. It really shows the actual length of the crystal well. You're not using one of those brown rulers and it's hard to tell. So these are nice if you're selling more expensive pieces. The littler pieces, unless a customer asks, I don't measure. Like this moon, I wouldn't measure it. But if a customer asks, it's nice to have it by. But if it's an expensive piece, like if it's $50 to $1,000, anything over $50, I might just automatically show it, especially with a larger tower where I know people are going to be investing more of their money. So a nice clear ruler, and I'll link everything below. The next thing that's nice to have handy is a scale. This is a scale for bigger crystals. A lot of times the customers will ask, well, how much does it weigh? And then this one does grams and pounds, so it does metric, and it does the American Standard System. So scale, again, I'll link it below. The next thing that's nice to have is a sphere measurer. Sometimes people want to know what's the sphere size. I don't automatically do that. If a customer asks, I will measure, but usually I just show it. If they're asking, yeah, totally, I'll pull it out. So it's nice to have it nearby. This is how they work. Really cool. This one does millimeters. It also does inches, so I'll link both. Depends on the customer. Some want the millimeters, some want the inches. The other thing, I'll grab this too, it's in the back, is if you have smaller pieces that you're showing, a tinier scale that could do a smaller capacity. This one does up to 20 grams, so I will link this one below too. So for example, on this most recent live, I had Libyan desert glass, and it's just not gonna show up on the big scale. So we're gonna use the little scale, and we're gonna get a nice measurement of it. And this one goes to, this is like about a little over 6 grams as I throw it on the ground. So if you have smaller specimens, you're gonna wanna get a smaller scale. Mr. Big Scale here will not work for all of your specimens. So that's the logistics of the actual sale itself. I hope that helps you guys out. If you want to see more of my logistics, just like this video, comment below. If you want more crystal info, follow along. We are really pushing our YouTube channel now. We're really trying to grow it. We want to get this information out there to help all of you if you're a small business owner or if you want to learn about crystals.